Hi, good morning. I'm Maggie Kuhnlein. I am the community school manager here at Hilltop. I started in January, so I haven't quite been here a full year. So a lot of the positive impact we had has really been to credit the great staff we have here at Hilltop. And I'm really lucky to get to work with them. The first data point that we have is our rate of chronically absent students has decreased by 16% from last year to this year. That's been a big priority here at Hilltop. The attendance committee, which is led by our school counselors, Ms. Spain and Ms. Blaylock, meet twice a month to review the attendance data and look for ways to improve attendance and decrease that chronic absenteeism. Even before students returned to school this past August, Ms. Spain and Ms. Blaylock visited with students and families in the community to talk about the significance of good attendance and how it affects academic performance, trying to plant that seed before school even started. They made it fun by bringing popsicles and played games with the students while talking to the parents and conveying that important message of regular attendance. Once school began, Ms. Spain and Ms. Blaylock continued their efforts along with the support of the attendance committee. But on a regular basis, Ms. Spain and Ms. Blaylock meet with approximately 50 students who've been identified as being at risk for being chronically absent or in the past have been chronically absent. So they check in with these students on a regular weekly basis. They set attendance goals, and students have the opportunity to see their attendance. Like other people have recognized, a lot of times students and families don't realize how often they're actually missing school. So they're able to monitor them with the help of the school counselor, see if they're improving, and then earn rewards based on their achievements. School-wide, we recognize and reward individual students for regular attendance, as well as classrooms. Students with regular attendance are able to earn rewards and be spotlighted for their achievements. They're able to get a Hilltop attendance shirt, and they get their picture taken, and it's posted in the hallway. We have classroom competitions. We too are very competitive here. Our behavior specialist, Mr. H, is the champion of creating competitions among classrooms. The competitions are often themed. Most recently, we've had a soccer World Cup. These create a sense of community and friendly competition among the students, and it's fun to see the staff get involved as well. And they'll do a lot of students versus staff sporting events. Attendance data has always been the driving force behind the interventions. We not only review the current data, but also compare historical data to identify and address any trends that we might see. For example, this year, the team recognized that historically Halloween had been a high rate of absenteeism on that day. So to encourage attendance, they hosted a costume parade, and each class was able to have a celebration within their classroom. This year, only 46 students were absent on Halloween, and the average attendance rate for that week, I wasn't able to see that specific day, but I was able to see the rate for that week. This year, the average attendance for the week of Halloween was up by 12%. So we've also had Family Friday events to engage families in learning activities that support to support their child's academic success and give families the opportunity to see their child's learning in action. These events were held various Fridays from 8:15 to 9:15, so really right after drop off. And we really tried to encourage families to just come in right as you're dropping your student off, come in and join us. The events had different themed topics, and the idea was to provide some information, but also then give the families the opportunity to see their student engaged in learning activities. So the topics included social emotional well-being, academic strategies to use at home, and the impact of attendance, again, on school success. Like I said, the families were provided breakfast. They were able to come in and socialize for a little bit, eat breakfast, and then they were presented briefly for maybe 20 minutes, information, strategies, some type of learning opportunity. And then after that, they were able to go see their child wherever they may be, even if their child was in cultural arts, whatever class they happened to be at that time. You can see in the picture here, parents and caregivers were able to see their children actively engaged in learning. On average, we've had 25 families participate in these Friday events. And since I've been here in January, each event we've noticed more families attending. So our last one was, our biggest one actually, what we noticed is they put a sign, my colleagues put a sign out at the drop off, just reminding families that, hey, today's Friday family. And we had way more, an overwhelming response, so much that I had to sort of like run out and get more breakfast as it was happening, which was a great problem to have. So we noticed that if we remind them with that sign at drop off, it encourages participation. So the next data point is 25% of our families have attended at least one school-wide event. Again, I've only been here since January, but since this time, I've noticed that each event, we seem to see more and more people and learning as the year goes on. Like I said, that strategy of putting the sign out front, we'll now do that on a regular basis. One of my first events as the program manager was the Read Across North County Literacy event, which was Saturday, March 9th. We had about 35 families in attendance. During the event, parents engaged in hands-on activities with their children to learn ways to promote reading and increase literacy at home. The picture there next to the 25% shows a father engaged in story building activity, which encourages creative expression and teamwork. The activities at the literacy event were created so that they could easily be replicated at home, and we were able to send home the materials with the families to continue to engage in the activities with their children at home. We didn't want it to be sort of like a one and done here at school. The idea was to continue the learning and give families the tools to do this on a regular basis. We also partnered with Anne Arundel County Community College to provide 3 parent education classes on topics related to positive parenting. The classes were held in October, November, and January. The October class was the best attended. Part of what we learned is scheduling evening classes during winter can be problematic. Due to winter weather, we did have to reschedule because of the snow in January, and I think that kind of impacted our attendance. But what we found is the parenting class in January that was rescheduled, 2 parents were able to attend, and their feedback was, even though there were only 2 of us, they loved the intimate conversation they were able to have with the facilitator and the other parent. They felt like they still got a lot out of it, just being able to share their experiences and get feedback with that small group. We also found that parent and caregiver classes are better attended when a student or a child activity is provided, which we've done with all of our parenting events and something we'll continue to do in the future. One of the biggest impacts we've seen is our bullying and harassment referrals have decreased from 29 last year to just 2 this year. This huge improvement can be attributed to several strategies. First, as a community school, we were able to hire 2 full-time behavior support positions, a learning lab TA and a behavior TA. The behavior support staff and our student services team, and our student services team is also supported with community school funding. But these 2 groups of staff members are able to help manage students' behavior by facilitating small group lessons about social, emotional, and behavior topics, including friendship and zones of regulation. The picture there next to the blue shows students completing an activity related to zones of regulation in our learning lab. Another successful strategy was the implementation of the Second Step Bullying Prevention Program for students in all grade levels, which was implemented by teachers and staff members to all students. As a result of these strategies, the number of incidents of fighting has also significantly decreased from 24 incidents last year to 6 this school year. And additionally, out-of-school suspensions decreased from 65 last year to 17 this year. So having what we've noticed is having additional behavioral staff members such as student services and our behavioral team, be able to help students de-escalate in the moment, process what's happening and their feelings, helps them avoid their physical confrontation. So we have additional staff members that are able to intervene before the moment escalates. So we had 11 students participate in both the fall and the spring sessions of Girls on the Run to promote our physical activity. Girls on the Run is a program that not only promotes physical activity, but also incorporates life skill development and improved mental health. They focus a lot on, it's an evidence-based program where the teachers act as coaches and they facilitate lessons that blend physical activity, life skill development, and emotional management. They focus a lot on expressing empathy, sportsmanship, belonging to a team, supporting each other. And it's in the picture here, you can see the group completed at the end of each session, they complete a 5K. And our coaches, the teachers here, say that they usually like to do some type of theme for each 5K. As you can see, they each have made their own tutu and coordinated their outfits. I believe in the spring session, they made bracelets. So each time they met, each practice or club, they would get so many charms for their bracelet for to correlate with how much they practiced or ran that particular practice. And then by the end, they all had the same bracelets. To promote physical health, we also partner with New Kingdom Faith Christian Church, and they provide a monthly food bags to families within the community. Each event, they feed approximately 500 people, and that's in our parking lot, I believe the first Tuesday of every month. We also partnered with the Caring Cupboard to give non-perishable food bags to families when they attended our Read Across North America event. Each family was able to take home at least one bag of food with them, which was helpful. We've recognized that students value physical activity here at Hilltop. Part of our PBIS reward system is to use physical activity such as basketball, soccer, similar to our attendance. We like to incorporate games and competitions, and we've had a lot of faculty versus students, games, things of that nature. And that is all I have for Hilltop.